Engelbert Humperdinck, welcome to the program, my friend.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning this morning. 80th album coming 45 years after his awesome hit, Release Me, comes now Engelbert Calling, and this is a duet album featuring, well, I'll go the whole gamut here, from Willie Nelson to Gene Simmons. It is amazing, and I'm happy to be talking to you, my friend.
Thank you, nice talking with you. I'm so excited about my new CD. I mean, it's taken 2 years to put this whole thing together, and it's finally out now.
So you have Elton John, you've got Willie Nelson, you've got Winona Judd, Kenny Rogers, Johnny Mathis. I mean,
yeah, aren't they wonderful names? I mean, it's really a thrill for me to release this album. It really is.
Who are you doing? Who's Spanish Harlem with?
Pardon me?
Who is Spanish Harlem? Who is this hit with?
That's with Il Divo.
Oh, Il Divo. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So
it was, they were a big group. They're stadium people, and
yeah, and
it's got a lovely sound, and I just loved having them on the album.
Wow, this is pretty cool because you just when you thought you'd say, oh well, golly, I've had so many of these albums under my belt and I've done it all. You clearly thought to yourself, I haven't done it all. I haven't done anything with Dionne Warwick yet, so I'm going to go ahead and spice this up again.
It's amazing. After about 80 albums, with compilation albums, this is the only duet album I've ever done in my entire career, which has spanned 47 years nearly.
Yeah, I mean, so how was it to get back into that mode for you?
It was just great. It was a joy. It really was. And it all started with Elton John. I was listening to a live album where he says, I wrote the song when I was a struggling artist, waiting for an Engelbert Humperdinck to call. Well, I finally called, not for that song, but to ask him to go on this duet album. And he said yes. And so, having Elton was like having a honeycomb, and it was easy after that.
That is really cool. You go back at Engelbert Humperdinck's past, and Jimi Hendrix one time opened for you. Is that right?
He did. He was on the show, and the funny thing is, one time my guitarist didn't show up for the show, and he said, "Don't worry, man, I'll play for you." I had Jimi Hendrix play for me.
Oh, that is so cool. And you took a number one slot away from the Beatles. And
yes, that was it. In 1967, it stopped the Beatles having their 13th number one when I brought out Release Me. And it went to number one around the world, which gave me a global career. And, I've been so fortunate.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're a household name. The minute we heard that you were available, I was like, oh, I gotta have this guy. I mean, I remember watching him as a kid. By the way, you look great, my friend. Have you turned 80 yet, or are you almost 80?
No. I'm 78.
78. Okay. Well, you look fantastic.
Thank you.
And by the way, the name Engelbert Humperdinck, I was astounded to find out that was not your real name. Actually,
no, that belonged to a composer, the composer of Hansel and Gretel. But he died in 1920, so it was a good name to take. I should have put an initial in between, like Engelbert G. Humperdinck, but I didn't,
Yeah.
So people sometimes take it for his name.
Well, so you just heard Spanish Eyes. I think I called it Spanish Harlem, but it's Spanish Eyes and Release Me and Can't Take My Eyes Off of You. It's really an amazing set, and congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
And it's really been an honor having you on the show, my friend.
Thank you so much, Jim. Appreciate it very much.
All right. I got to talk to Engelbert Humperdinck.
Yes, you did.
It's pretty awesome.
I mean, come on now.
What a nice guy.
Great guy.
He sounds fantastic.
He does.
Phone. That's awesome.
And he sounds so passionate about what he does. And it is pretty cool. I mean, to have this setup with Elton John, who's, and Willie Nelson. I mean, the variety there is great. I know a lot of you all like Kenny Rogers and Winona Judd, so he's got the country people covered. The rock and roll people covered.
Gene Simmons.
Gene Simmons? Oh, what a stitch. I didn't broach the subject of Elvis singing Release Me.
That's probably nice of you.
Elvis basically just stole that song from him practically.
But he still got his career from it, so no hard feelings.
Yeah. Good man, Engelbert Humperdinck. We'll put that on audio on demand for you just for another listen. 971talk.com/Allman. Have a great rest of your day, y'all.